What happens when Wyoming's most resilient game warden is brutally ambushed and left for dead at a desolate mountain junction, forcing his own fiercely independent daughters to step out of his shadow and hunt down his attacker? A massive #1 New York Times global bestseller, The Crossroads is C.J. Box's electrifying 26th installment in the legendary Joe Pickett wilderness thriller saga. Masterfully flipping the script on the long-running series, Box delivers a high-stakes, family-centered detective story where the next generation of the Pickett clan must take up the mantle of frontier justice. The narrative begins with the nightmare scenario that Marybeth Pickett has dreaded for decades. She receives a call that Joe has been found slumped behind the wheel of his pickup truck at Antler Creek Junction, clinging to life after suffering a horrific gunshot wound to the head. The isolated Crossroads sits directly at the borders of 3 massive, powerful Wyoming ranches, each owned by a dangerous, corrupt family that has a distinct, long-held grudge against the local game warden. Because Joe was working off the grid and left no record of where he was heading, the newly appointed local sheriff is left completely blind, lacking any witnesses, evidence, or a primary suspect. With Joe comatose in a hospital bed and Marybeth refusing to leave his side, the narrative engine shifts to the 3 Pickett daughters, Sheridan, April, and Lucy. Realizing the official investigation is stalling, the now grown-up sisters decide to launch a daring, multi-pronged investigation of their own. They split up, with each sister embedding themselves in the social and professional circles of one of the 3 suspect families. As they dig into a toxic web of modern energy empires, land cartels, and deeply buried local scandals, the sisters quickly realize they have walked into a literal and moral crossroads, and the people who ambushed their father are more than willing to eliminate their children to keep their secrets buried. The Crossroads is a spectacular, refreshing triumph for the series, praised by critics for brilliantly shifting the investigative spotlight to the Pickett daughters while maintaining the franchise's trademark tension. Box writes with his signature fast-paced prose, capturing the rugged, unforgiving beauty of the modern American West while delivering a tightly wound whodunit puzzle. Driven by a gripping, multi-perspective audiobook performance that captures the fierce loyalty of the Pickett family and the underlying dread of the Wyoming wilderness, this blockbuster entry proves that 26 books in, Box can still shock his audience with an explosive, high-stakes classic.